My tenants are leaving and I only have 30 days to find new ones. Now, this is definitely the most stressful thing about owning real estate because if I don't find new tenants, my property will sit vacant and I'll be losing thousands of dollars per month. Now, there's 6 steps to a proper tenant turnover, so let's not waste any time. As soon as you get an email or a message from your tenants that they're moving out, it's go time. Listing your property for rent is the very first thing you need to do. In order to do this, you'll need some high quality photos. I mean, you can't have a listing without photos. And once you have the photos, the best place to advertise your property is on apartments.com, Zillow, or Facebook Marketplace. Now for this listing, I'm actually going to post it in a university housing group just because it's so close to campus. And remember, when you make your listing, you want to make it as detailed as possible. Make sure you include location, how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, how much is the rent, how much is the security deposit, are utilities included, is there laundry, when's the apartment available, are pets allowed, is smoking allowed, how much is the application fee, etc. It's better to be over descriptive than under descriptive. So we're going to post this listing and see what leads we get. So while we're waiting on leads to come in, the next thing you need to do is schedule an initial walkthrough. You want to schedule this walkthrough for 2 reasons. First, you'll want to see what the property condition is like since you'll be showing it to new tenants. You want to make sure that the property is in good and presentable condition. Second, you should look for any major repairs or damages that need to be fixed. Is the paint chipped? Are there any holes in the walls? Do the appliances still work? Knowing what repairs and fixes that need to be done will lead us into the next step. If there are necessary repairs, like you need to replace a shower head or a garbage disposal, schedule these repairs for immediately after the current tenants move out. It's also necessary to schedule a cleaning team to do a deep clean as soon as the tenants move out. Hi, is this Genius Cleaning? Yes. So my name is John. I have a rental property over in Cincinnati, Ohio. And I'd like to do a deep clean for one of my units this coming Friday if you have any availability. Awesome. Thanks, bye. You want to make sure that your current tenants are clean and comfortable in their new apartment. And sometimes this can be stressful because old tenants will move out on Friday and new tenants are showing up on a Sunday. So you have to schedule all your repairs and cleanings on Saturday. And so you only get like 1 day to do all that stuff. And if you're already feeling overwhelmed with the amount of stuff you have to do for a tenant turnover, I actually made a free checklist on all the things you should do for the tenant turnover. I'll leave that in the description below. Okay, so we've listed the apartment, we've done our initial walkthrough, and we've scheduled our repairs and cleanings. Now it's time to check our listing to see if we can schedule any showings from it. So we're gonna go to its, wait, what? Hang on. So I listed the apartment on a college housing Facebook group, and we've gotten 0 leads so far. That's a problem. If you're getting 0 leads from your listing, it's probably because of one of 3 things. Either your price is way too high, your pictures are really bad, or the place you're listing on isn't active. I mean, I listed the apartment for $1,300. I really don't think that's too expensive considering the area that we're in. The pictures, in my opinion, are clean and clear, so I don't think the pictures are the problem. I think the problem could be is that the Facebook group is kind of inactive, or college students just don't want to spend $1,300 on an apartment. So I'm gonna try listing it in a few different housing groups and try different areas first before lowering the price. So I'm just gonna update the listing into a few newer Facebook groups. Hopefully those are more active, and then we're gonna go from there. Okay, so while we wait for leads to come back from our new listing, it's important to note that you must give your current tenants 24 to 48 hours before you do a showing. Another pro tip is to schedule your showings every 15 minutes. So I like to schedule my showings like back to back to back, like 6 in a row. That way I only have to go to the property once during that week rather than going to it like 6 different times. I used to schedule my showings every 30 minutes, but I found out there's always gonna be cancellations, there's always gonna be no-shows, so 15 minutes really works well, so I'm not wasting time at the property. Okay, so we're gonna check the listing. Hopefully we got something. If we don't, I don't know what's, that's gonna be a problem. So we have like 20 new leads. I was actually tempted to reduce the price because there was no one biting at all, but I actually posted it in a different Facebook group. It's kind of more of a young professional Facebook group, and a lot of people jumped on it. So we got a lot of messages to respond to, and I'm gonna start scheduling showings this week. So over the next 2 weeks, I had 14 scheduled showings. Of those 14 showings, I had 9 actually show up, and of those 9 people who actually showed up, I had 3 that applied to the apartment. Okay, so I know I'm cutting it close, but the showings actually went about as well as they could have gone. There's obviously no shows and cancellations, but 3 people actually wanted to apply to the apartment, so I sent them an application through apartments.com. And here's the best part. With apartments.com, they do a background and credit check for you. It costs $29, but that's part of the application fee for the new tenants. So here's an example of what the background check and credit check come back with. This is a crucial part of finding tenants. So for example, here you can see their application, which is their basic information. You have their documents. This is basically proof of income to show that they have the means to rent your apartment. This person actually has 4.2 times the income needed, which is fantastic. And here you can see their credit report, which is a 674. And you can actually dig into their full credit report, which is nice. We can also look at their criminal report, which luckily they have no criminal activity here, and also no eviction related proceedings, which is great to see as well. But ultimately, I had another applicant who was more qualified that had a higher credit score that I'm actually going to approve. And all you have to do is click approve. We've got a week until the new tenants move in, and last thing we got to do is to create a new lease. So now we're gonna set up our new residence in apartments.com. It's actually super easy. You kind of go step by step through it, so I'll show you right now. So as you can see, I've already accepted these people right here. And if you look in the top right over here, it says set up new residence. We're gonna click that right here. Okay, so now we're going to draft a lease. So that's the monthly rent, monthly due date, first of the month. Security deposit is gonna be 1 month of rent. No pets allowed in the property. That's a big no-no from me. Yes, online rent payments. That's the only way I'm gonna collect rent. No smoking allowed in the property. That is a big no-no. Smoking is even worse than pets in my opinion. So here I like to attach my frequently asked questions that I send to the tenants. It's all of those kind of basic questions. When is rent due? When's security deposit due? How do I pay my rent? Who's responsible for utilities? Making a list of these frequently asked questions will save you a bunch of time. You're not gonna get asked these same questions over and over again. And if you're a new landlord and you want this template as an example, I'll leave it in the description below. So here is where the special stipulations come in. Liquid or foreign objects down drains. Okay, so I just added no excessive noise, no underage drinking, no drug dealing or illegal activities. So we're gonna continue. Yeah, here we go. You're almost done. Please review your lease before you send it off. So we're gonna download the lease. And then I'm gonna look through it. I probably will have my lawyer look at it just to like make sure everything's taped up and everything. But I like apartments.com. I've been using it for 3 years now, so it works well for me, and I would recommend it for any young landlord, any new landlord for that matter. Everything actually looks good, so I'm gonna confirm and send to the renters. So that's pretty much it for right now. We're also gonna need to get a new set of keys and change the locks for the new residents. So the new tenants are moving in tomorrow. They've signed the lease. The old tenants left the place in great shape. I got cleaners in here and they did a great job as well. And even though it was a little stressful, this has been a successful tenant turnover. All I need to do is drop off the keys to the new tenants and they'll be set to move in. So with anything, the more you do something, the easier it gets. So with each new tenant turnover, I'm able to build systems and see patterns and learn from my mistakes so that each new tenant turnover is a little bit easier. And by no means am I an expert landlord. I'm just trying to give my tenants the best experience possible so they want to rent from me in the future. And I see that as a win-win. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something from this and subscribe for more videos in the future.